This is breaking news. A moose on the loose. Investigators investigating as to why. We'll have much more on this story coming up. Sound familiar? In this Rants with Rogers, my top 10 most annoying news cliches. Well, hey, I'm Matt, and a lot of you already know this, but I'm a news anchor. I anchor 4 hours of news a day. But I gotta tell you, there are some lines that sneak into scripts that absolutely drive me up the wall. So here's what we're gonna do. I am going to present to you the 10 cliches that I just can't stand. Probably the one that really drives me the craziest is an untimely death. Can somebody explain as to when a death would be timely? I mean, aren't the majority of deaths untimely? I mean, unless you've got like the death sentence and then the time got off on that and you were killed at a different time than you were supposed to be. Now, I guess technically that would be an untimely death. Otherwise, stop saying that. The suspect ditched the car and then ran on foot. Really? Did they run on foot? I would certainly hope so. What else are they running on? According to a study, this one, oh man, it could literally be one person's opinion, but the newscaster will say according to a study. Most times there's more than one person involved in that study, but you don't know unless they actually tell you what the study is, which half the time they don't. Ah, the old moose on the loose. Think about that for a moment. Aren't most moose technically on the loose? I mean, they live in the wild. So unless they're in a zoo or caged somehow, a moose by nature is on the loose. Just because it wanders into your neighborhood doesn't mean that it's on the loose, okay? Authorities were combing and sifting through the rubble. Have you ever tried to comb a rock? Are we sifting for gold here? What's going on? This is breaking news. How many times do you hear that in one newscast? Everything's breaking news now. Folks, it is not breaking news if Starbucks comes out with a new latte, okay? Don't overuse the term. If you keep saying breaking news on everything, I am going to quit paying attention. I don't care what your study says. This one hits home because I'm a parent. It's a parent's worst nightmare. Is it? Do you really know what my worst nightmare is? I bet you don't. And I can guarantee you it's probably not the story you're telling me is my worst nightmare. So just stop saying that, okay? This one's a classic. The old pain at the pump, talking about gas prices. All right, when it first came out, it was clever, but I'm kind of over it now. So can we stop throwing it up on the screen with the big fancy flashy graphic with the words all up in bold? That's painful. Everybody's talking about it. Are they? Or did you just see that on Twitter or Instagram? Because honestly, I haven't heard one person talk about the story you're telling me everybody's talking about. My last one is a combination of a bunch of phrases here. We'll continue to update you. We'll have the very latest, details ahead, and we'll have much more. All of those things are your job. I expect you to do all of that. That's why I'm watching. I don't need you to tell me you're going to do that. I just assume you are. Look, like I said, I do 4 hours of live news a day. I know I have used all of those phrases at some point in time. So I'm not sitting here trying to tell you that I am better than all of that. But I certainly try to make a note of it to myself and not use them. Honestly, it's just lazy writing and lazy on my part if I let that slip through and say it on air. So I'm telling you right now, it is my commitment to you as a journalist to try and not use these cliches, these catchphrases all the time. In fact, I'm going to try not to use them at all. That being said, I am going to use something that we always say here on YouTube. Be sure to subscribe, tap the notification bell for me so you know when I post a new video, folks. Also, I'm on Patreon now where there is exclusive content, so check that out. Also, look at the description section down below for some links, and make sure give me a thumbs up and leave a comment down below. What's the most annoying thing your local newscaster says all the time that drives you nuts? Leave it in a comment That's all I got this time, you guys, but everybody's talking about Rants with Rogers, and I'll have much more for you coming up in future videos. See how bad that is?